I'll take this fish.
How does he know that?
Slice of pizza in front of me when I'm sitting on the couch and watching TV. There we go. On a black and blue craw tube. Flipping in there with about a 3/8 ounce pegged Texas rig weight. Got a little clacker on there. That's a really nice fish. Pushing about 19-20 inches. Just really nice, solid fish. Get him back here. Fishing some deeper weeds, 10 to 11 feet. We worked all the way down this line and just started popping a few fish here. We got to work these big flats. We work the whole thing until we start getting bites. Once we get a bite or two, we'll slow down and really start to, pinpoint what's going on. And that's only our third fish, but it gave me a pretty good idea what's going on, so we'll see if we can get some more. But that's a lot of fun right there. Just get that finger off of this reef that sticks way out here. It's kind of under the surface. You can't really see it until you get right on top of it. You think the reef ends, but it actually continues way out. There we go. Oh, that's a better fish too. Oh, he's stuck in the weeds, but it's not a bad one. Not a bad one. That's another fish. At least they're there. Man, those Gamakatsu EWGs do a great job. Nice little fish. Now, there should be a bunch of them here because we just got back. There we go. Oh. Maybe get up out of there. Don't cause too much trouble down there. A decent fish, not a big one, but they're attacking on the way down. That's a really good sign. Hopefully we got a little school to have some fun with here. These fish apparently have just moved out here. They weren't here a couple weeks ago, but oh man, they're in there good. Just gotta slow down and start catching. Hopefully we can get some bigger ones. There's supposed to be some really nice fish out here. Decent average, but they're eating that craw tube pretty nice. I think speed is really important once you get a school fired up like this. it's really critical to be able to get back in the water as quickly as you can and often as you can, because a lot of times it adds up to a few extra fish once you get that school going. Once they're fired up, it seems like they're all looking for something to eat. All about the same so far. Gotta switch over to a double rod. Sorry about that. Diameter of the school. I flipped over there, nothing. Flipped back here, and they seem to be really located right now. I was kind of hoping it'd be a big area, but looks like it's a pretty tight pack. I gotta peg this sinker. The sinker's not pegged for some reason. It's gonna cost me some time. Oh, there was a fish. Bad for a fish. But once they go, they go pretty much worthless after a few fish. Kind of depends on the size and the attitude of those fish too. There we go. That one feels pretty good. It might be in the weeds again. That's a little better. Nice little chunky one. So what we're doing out here, we're fishing right now. Got the boat sitting in about 11 feet of water, and there's a milfoil reef out here. It's tops out probably 6-7 feet deep. Weeds are pretty much right to the surface. Where we're sitting, there's a little string of foil that comes out in that 9, 10, 11 feet. And we can just see an occasional stalk of milfoil, but you can see them on your electronics really good. There's definitely a pretty big raft of weeds down there. And all we're doing is throwing this, it's about a 4-inch craw tube, rigging it Texas rigged with a big 3/0 Gamakatsu, extra wide gap. It's also a super line hook because I'm using 40-pound spider wire. No stretch, really heavy stuff. Using about a 610 heavy or medium heavy. This is a Falcon, but the weight's about a 3/8 ounce. I got a little clacker in there to make some noise. I got it pegged so it doesn't go anywhere. I want this thing to be a compact little package sliding in and out of those milfoil clumps. Really not casting much, just pretty much pitching it out real short. I want to fish real vertical if I can. It helps to get the fish up out of the weeds in a big hurry without causing too much commotion in the school. If you're taking long casts and you're getting stuck in the weeds a bunch, you end up ruining your spot. It's really nice to get on top of them and get them up clean. So that's kind of the deal. So we'll just take this, we'll pitch it into where the fish are supposed to be. And a lot of this happens to be a pretty hot school, so the fish a lot of them are picking it up on the drop. If they don't pick it up on the drop, all I'm doing is letting that line go slack, letting it sit there for a second. I just raise my rod tip, jiggle, just get the bait up off the bottom about that far, shake it a little bit, let that worm weight clack down there, try and call them in, because what's happening is these fish are sitting around the bottom down there, sometimes up in it a little bit, but a lot of times you'll flip in one pocket, the fish will be just around the corner from that, and that clacker really helps get them to come over and see what's going on. It kind of calls them in. So that's the purpose of the rattle and bait, rattling part of the equation.
nice thing about fishing these schools in the foil, this little bit deeper water, is we've got a pretty small spot right here as far as where the fish actually are. And you know, sometimes there can be as many as 50 to 100 fish down in these little tiny areas. It makes it a lot of fun when you find one of these spots. We'll also find if you catch 10, 15, sometimes 20 fish and it goes dry on you, go fish a couple other spots and come back in an hour, and it'll probably start all over again for you. There's a little guy. Not too bad though. It's just a blast. That one hit it on the drop and he attacked it. Line hop twice. Nice little fish. Ooh, that one feels good. Oh, it's in the weeds though. Same size, just got me stuck. Not bad though. There's that gamakatsu doing its job. They're just attacking that thing on the drop. That one had hit the bottom, but I pulled up and boom, he just crushed it. Just about took it away from me. There we go. Oh, that feels better, but it's in the weeds again. Yep, just in the weeds. Little guy. Kind of got the sun in the wrong angle here. All right, well, we're back on them though. I always like to throw the fish out the opposite side of the boat from where they come from, so try and keep them out of the school a little bit. You don't want to run them back through those weeds they came out of. It'll sometimes disrupt what's going on down there. That one took it, was running. Another nice little fish, nice and fat, healthy. I gotta get the boat turned around. Is the sun really bad in there? No, I suppose it's high enough. It's high enough, it shouldn't matter too much. That one took it and was running the other way. I'll take this fishing too. All three of those flips pretty much went into the exact same hole or the same spot right next to the same weed, and you can see how these fish just stack up in there, one on top of another. Once you get onto a school like this, doing this, everything else seems mundane, and there's just really nothing more fun than finding batches of fish like this. It takes a lot of time and a lot of work, and a lot of patience to fish a lot of dead water, but it all pays off if you find a couple places like this. smaller as we get further this way. Still, it's 4 casts, 4 fish, so I can't complain. Man, those things get stuck.
Or if you maintain this kind of a boat angle,
This is good?
better. Yeah.
Okay.
It's
Yeah.
barely behind me, but it's behind me enough where
I was trying to get us, kept catching fish.
and the camera's good enough where the white on, this white balance is just fine, but it makes your face look dark.
They're hot. Just an absolute blast. That time the line just jumped. No messing around.
Somewhere. There he is. Just a little one. That's 2 consecutive drops. We're out here making a DVD today with Corey Guttenfelder, local fisherman, pro fisherman guide. And I really recommend going out with Corey if you get a chance. Just throwing little Texas rigs. He's got the fish just super located right now. And when you see the DVD, you're not going to believe it. I'm telling you folks, I've been filming Corey. He must have caught 30 bass. Getting in there. We had to switch the tape. So I asked Corey, can I catch a couple? That's about 4 drops and about 4 fish. And that gummy has got him good. One more. This is my 5th flip in. Five flips, 5 bass. This is after watching Corey go about 25 out of 30. On the little Texas rig. All right, Corey, let's get you back.
Carried around, and a lot of times they just don't let go. You know, they hook. Sometimes they hook themselves. Oh yeah, they'll just swim 20, 30 feet, pull you through a bunch of weeds. They're just, you know, they're eating machines down there. This is like throwing a slice of pizza in front of me when I'm sitting on the couch and watching TV, you know. They're decent fish. Fat little guys. Let's see about how long they are. Just to give you an idea, that fish is a little over 15 inches, and he's on the lower end of the average, I'd say. Not a bad way to spend an afternoon. The bite's slow. Then I'll work down the other side, down to the other point. That's so much fun. Oh, there we go. That one's a little bit better. That's a nicer fish. Not too bad. Yeah, he was, I think he was 3. It's a good heavy fish. They've definitely, they've stopped. Oh man, my eyes are bad. Stopped hammering it on the drop now. That last 2 have both picked it up off the bottom. Man, they're sneaky when they pick it up off the bottom. You don't feel anything. It's just all of a sudden your bait's not where it was. That's usually a good time to set the hook. Hello, guy. Stuck in the weeds. Oh, it's a better fish though, a little bit. Not much. Same kind of stuff. Had him hooked funny. Bottom lip. It's a weird spot. Yeah, it's pretty common. Sometimes they'll be in that heavy stuff, but a lot of times they're in this stuff where you can just see that occasional weed, you know. And you can see it on your graph really good. It's pretty solid down there up to about 5-6 feet under the surface. And they're just cruising around under that canopy down there. What they have on this spot, you know, you have access to both shallow and deep water immediately. You know, if these fish decide they want to go up to feed, they can go up to feed. Or if something changes and they don't like it, they can just pull off and get out in some deep water and suspend or hang out or do whatever they do out there. Having the shallow water close by, you know, provides a huge food source. This time of year, the sunfish come out and suspend off these pieces of structure too, so they got sunfish to use too as a reason to be here. I think these spots, access to shallow and deep water is the most important thing. We find most of our schools in a transition area where they have that access to both parts of the water column.